2 seasons. 2 seasons in a row, I didn't make playoffs. First in CBA, now in Hive. Whose fault is that? Mine. Also Drows, but mostly mine. I've gotten memed, taunted, laughed at, and I'm tired of it. This season will be different. This season, I will prove that Dragon Spam is viable. This season, I will prove that I'm top 5. This season, I will prove that I'm 12, by the way. But most importantly, this season, I will prove that I'm not only good in CPC. But first, we need to start off the season strong. Hey guys, Jake here, and today I'm here with week number 1 of the Hive Beedrill division. I know I did not do a draft analysis for this league, and I apologize for that. But that's honestly because I despise my drafts on this league. I got sniped a ton, and if I did a draft analysis, I'd probably just get really upset because I don't like my draft, and I'm gonna have to deal with it. But that's okay. I'm gonna try and make it work. Week 1, we're going up against Azar. Big time rival of mine. Very good player. Always does good in every single league, except TFA, where he did garbage. But that doesn't mean he's an easy win. 7-3 every season. 2-time finalist. Made playoffs every season. A very difficult week 1. But I'm going to be honest, his draft is not the best either. First of all, let me read off my team. My team that I drafted is Mega Charizard X, Zygarde 50%, Greninja, Reuniclus, Florges, Nidoking, Virizion, Kangaskhan, Blastoise, Doublade, and Tornadus Eye. Now let me talk about my draft real quick, because as I said, I didn't do a draft analysis, but I kind of just wanted to try 2 high-tier dragons, because I figured Zardex plus Zygarde is probably going to be cancer to prep for, because Zardex beats most Zygarde checks and vice versa. Besides, like, really bulky waters such as Slowbro, but like, I have stuff for bulky waters on my team as well. But yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of my drafts because, as I said, my steel type is Doublade, and I really wanted Metagross, but Jack had to be a cunt and snipe me, so I'm stuck with terrible Doublade. But you know what? That's perfectly fine. It's not Jack's fault. But I'm kind of fucked. The season will be tough because Beedrill is so competitive, so competitive. I'd say it's probably the second most competitive league out there, besides NPL Majors, which is a pretty bold statement, but I will stand by it. But yeah, Azar's draft. Azar's draft consists of Mew, Tapu Bulu, Zygarde 10%, Magnezone, Tentacruel, Crawdaunt, Mienshao, Diancie, Claydol, Mega Pidgeot, and Turtonator. So yeah, he definitely has a weird team. Obvious hyper offense is obvious. Tentacruel and Diancie are like the only 2 Pokemons. I guess Turtonator too, but first off, he's got the Mew. Mew is really annoying to my team. It's just super annoying because it's one of the better Zygarde switch-ins. It can kind of deal with Zard. Yeah, it's just annoying. I don't have that much to break it. Especially when your dark type is Greninja, and that's easily taken advantage of with something like a Colbur Berry. Tapu Bulu, I'm not too scared of. I do have plenty of answers to it. I have a Nidoking to revenge it. Zardex can kind of beat it. Zygarde has Sludge Wave for it. Greninja can do a ton. Virizion can deal with it to an extent. Doublade and Tornadus Eye also can deal with it pretty well, so I'm not too scared of Tapu Bulu. Zygarde 10%. Zygarde 10% is interesting. That's because my grass type is Virizion, and Virizion is definitely not the most physically bulky. My ground resists on my team overall are not good. It's Virizion and Tornadus Eye, and obviously Tornadus Eye is going to take a billion from banded 1,000 arrows. So yeah, Zygarde 10 is definitely scary. Greninja is my only great way of revenging it. He's also got Magnezone. Magnezone, I'm not scared of, because I have Zygarde, I have Zardex, I have Nidoking. The only thing that'd be there to trap is my Doublade, which just isn't good against him. Tentacruel is a huge threat to my team. I have no switch-ins to an offensive Tentacruel. Besides Kangaskhan, but or like Spadef Zard. But yeah, its Stool Stabs just really threaten my team. Another switch-in is like Spadef Reuni, but yeah, when my grass type is when my grass type is Virizion, I really don't have that much for it. Next up, Crawdon. Crawdon is super scary. I do have Virizion for it, but Crawdon gets a move called Aerial Ace that can always do a lot. So yeah, if it sets up a DD, I could definitely be in trouble. He's also got Mienshao. Mienshao is super scary because in mocks I kept seeing Swords Dance Mienshao, and that kind of just ran through my team because it blew past my defensive checks, and then once my only thing that outsped it on my team died, it kind of just destroyed me. So yeah, Mienshao can be scary, definitely if it's the right set. Diancie, I don't think I can see him coming. It can, even though my two of my dragons can hit super effectively, it can take a hit and do a lot back. It's his only reliable rocker. Like, his other rocker is Mew, and he's got Claydol. But yeah, Diancie, I can definitely see coming. He's also got the Claydol. Claydol has a pretty good matchup versus my team. It can be used to just control hazards. Take a hit from Zygarde, hit it with an Ice Beam, deal with like Nidokings that aren't carrying coverage. Take a hit from Zard, hit it with an Earth Power. So yeah, I can see Claydol coming. He's also got the Mega Pidgeot. Mega Pidgeot is a gigantic threat to my team. I only have one thing that outspeeds it, and my Florges is my only switch-in, but with the correct set, Pidgeot can beat Florges 1v1. The one set that I'm fearing is Spadef Workup. Spadef Workup Florges can beat my Florges, or Spadef Workup Pidgeot can beat my Florges 1v1 easily because they can just work up roost, repeat. Because Moonblast won't be doing enough damage to the point where he will be forced to roost continuously, and I just get stalled out of Moonblasts. So yeah, Mega Pidgeot, scary. Also, if he's Spadef, it helps him take a hit from my Greninja, which is the only thing that outspeeds my Pidgeot on my roster. Next up, he's got the Turtonator. I'm not scared of Turtonator. I have stuff like Zardex, Zygarde 50, Blastoise on my roster. I didn't see it in one of my mocks. I don't think it's coming. So, yeah, let's get into the team I brought. Here you see I have a Nidoking. This Nidoking is my dedicated lead. Stealth Rocks, Mega Horn, Poison Jab, and Earthquake. I'm going to come back to this Nidoking set later, just so I can talk about the importance of my Stealth Rocks. But this Dual Stab plus Mega Horn is really all I need. Mega Horn helps me to hit KO Mew, which is huge. Earthquake hits his team really hard. Mega Horn also hits Claydol, and then Poison Jab is for stuff like Bulu. I've got Poison Point because if you look at his team, I really would only use Poison Jab versus Tapu Bulu, which is the only thing that gets Sheer Force boost on this moveset, and I can that OHKOs anyway, so there's no point. I figured I'd just go with Poison Point in case Mienshao wanted to U-turn on me, something like that. It really didn't matter that much, but hey, it might come in handy. But yeah, I've also got the Pasho Berry because a lot of people were leading with Tentacruel and mocks. If that happens, I can live anyone hit from Tentacruel into OHKO with EQ unless he's Shuka Berry. but or he skull burns me, but that's fine. Because like at least something I want to really chip early game is my tentacruel, because then like my Greninja, which I'll show on my team later, will have a lot easier time winning. But yeah, this mon is really important. I will always lead with it unless I see Claydol. If I see Claydol, I might still lead with it, depends on the other mons he brought. But yeah, this is a really important mon this game. So next up, I've got my Florges. Florges holding the leftovers, Moonblast, Wish, Heal Bell, and Protect. This Florges makes it so I'm 100% not 2KO'd by Modest Pidgeot after rocks with leftovers, which is very important because this is, as I said, this is my only switch into Pidgeot. Moonblast for stab, Wish and Protect, obvious recovery. I did want Wish over something like Synthesis because I want to pass wishes to other stuff on my team. Just the support is nice. Heal Bell I put on there because, like, at first I didn't really think I needed Heal Bell, but then in Mox I realized people are bringing Toxic a lot on stuff like Tapu Bulu. I'd seen Subtoxic Tapu Bulu a couple times. They're also bringing it on stuff like Mega Pidgeot instead of Workup Priest. They are also bringing Thunder Wave Mew, which is a good check to Zard. So yeah, just healing status is overall a pretty nice option. I put the rest in Fizz Def so I can take an arrows from Zydoge if need be. It can also help me take a hit from Crawdaunt, Mienshao. Just overall nice. The speed investment, I put a lot of speed in here because in case you wanted to like speed creep. In case you wanted to get cheeky with Crawdaunt. But yeah, this mod is important. I need to preserve it so I don't lose to Pidgeot. And yeah, next up, Virizion. Fizz Def Virizion, Toxic, Hidden Power Poison, Leaf Blade, Synthesis, holding the Figgy Berry. Toxic, because I really want to Toxic the Mew. I know Synchronize is a thing, but I do have Heal Bell on my Florges. And getting that Mew Toxic is one of the things I really want to do this game. Because then, I don't know if I mentioned, but Calm Mind Mew is a gigantic threat to this team. Can't really hit it that hard. So yeah, especially if he's Colbur Berry. So getting that thing Toxic is great. Hidden Power Poison for Bulu, obviously. Leaf Blade just for general stab, and Synthesis for recovery. This set is kind of walled by Magnezone, but that's fine. I didn't opt for close combat because I felt like Synthesis was more important, and like Magnezone is just god awful versus my team. I'm creeping Adamant Bulu and like a few more, I think, just like in case you wanted to like speed creep a Bulu speed creep. So yeah, this mod is important because it's my Zydog pivot. If he goes for Outrage, that sucks, but I do have a Florges, so he can't really reliably lock himself into Outrage this game, which is pretty good. So yeah, this one is good for Bulu, Zydog, Crawdaunt. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Unfortunately, this thing is revenged by Pidgeot, but I felt like this was necessary, so I just didn't fold to his physical breakers early game. And yeah, next up, I've got Zygarde, Adamant Zygarde, Dragon Dance, Arrows, Crunch, and Sludge Wave. Adamant Nature, 192 speed, max attack, 64 HP. Speed creeping max Jolly Bulu. Yeah, I just put the rest in, just put max attack and then the rest into HP. Dragon Dance, 1000 Arrows, Crunch, and Sludge Wave. Darkinium Z Crunch to hit the Mew as hard as I can, because I figured Fizz Def Mew was a very probable bring this game, because it can deal with Zygarde pretty easily. Most Zygardes like Band Zygarde, it's not too KO'd by, and it can do stuff back. Sludge Wave is for Bulu. It doesn't OHKO, but it does enough to the point where I didn't feel like going a minus defense nature was necessary, so I just had to pack on Sludge Wave. 1000 Arrows is obvious. It's 1000 Arrows. Of course, you're gonna run 1000 Arrows. when he has Pidgeot. Yeah. This mod is good. If he's Fizzed Up Mew, and I know he's not Clover, this is my hardest way of nuking it, if he has like a Calm Mind up, which is very important. And yeah, this mod is definitely good potential to sweep after a DD, because he doesn't have that much for it, because his team is very offensive. This mod is a big threat to his team, and it's one of my win cons this game. So speaking of DD users, I've also got a Dragon Dance Charizard, Dragon Dance, Steel Wing, Dragon Claw, and Fire Punch. Speed Creeping, Max Jolly Bulu. Enough attack to let's talk about my moveset first. Dragon Dance, Steel Wing, Dragon Claw, Fire Punch. Dragon Claw, Fire Punch, Dual Stab. In hindsight, I probably should have had Flare Blitz over Fire Punch, but I just felt like, since I didn't have Roost, I figured that Flare Blitz recoil would be kind of bad this game, because Rocks plus Flare Blitz recoil is no good. But I should have added Flare Blitz to hit stuff like Mew as hard as I can. And I thought, oh, well, yeah, Fire Punch is fine. It Oko's Bulu. But, yeah, I believe this, I've got Steel Wing for Diancie, because I'm thinking a Shuka Berry Diancie is definitely a probable bring, because he might just not remember Steel Wing and just think, oh, he's going to run Earthquake as coverage, which would make sense, because he does have a Tentacruel, and that does hit Tentacruel harder as well. And Shuka Berry is also multi-purpose. It helps with Zygarde as well, so like if he wants to be Shuka Berry Diancie so he can eat arrows and then fire back with the Moonblast, that's definitely that's definitely something I can see happening. So yeah, he also doesn't have much for this after a DD is set up. So last mon, I've got Greninja. Life Orb, Dark Pulse, Ice Beam, Hydro Pump, Hidden Power, Electric. Dark Pulse to hit Mew as hard as possible. It's also my hardest way of hitting. That's cruel. It's Dark Pulse stab. Ice Beam. Ice Beam is important. It helps me Oko Pidgeot after Stealth Rocks. And yeah, Ice Beam hits Wooloo super hard as well. Hydro Pump. It's Hydro Pump. He doesn't have great switches once Tentacruel is chipped. Hidden Power Electric is just so I have a way of hitting Crawdont. Yeah, this one is my win con. Once his team is chipped, he really doesn't have much to revenge it. But yeah, this mon is good. It's my only real way of revenging Pidgeot, so it's really important. I need to preserve this thing. I can't play too risky with it. But yeah, back to my Nidoking. Rocks are so important in this game. Rocks ensure me that I Oko Pidgeot after Rocks with Greninja. It also ensures me that I Oko Crawdont after Rocks with Hidden Power Electric. It also ensures me that I believe I think it ensures me that I 2-hit KO Tapu Bulu with Hidden Power Poison. One sec. I have notes somewhere, but yeah, rocks are important in this game. They're just really big. I have the notes somewhere. Oh well. Rocks are important. They get good shape on this. They get good shape on his team. The big one is rocks are good because he doesn't have that much creative removal. I know Azar, he doesn't like to bring stuff like Defog Mew, and his only other way of removal is Pidgeot, which I don't expect. Well, I expect Pidgeot obviously, but I don't expect Defog on Pidgeot. But yeah, rocks are good. They ensure me to Oko Pidgeot. Anyways, enough about my rant about rocks this game. I'll be right back with the game. Alright, here we are with the game versus Azar. As you see, he brought Mew, Diancie, Crawdont, Mega Pidgeot, Zygarde 10%, and Tentacruel. So yeah, this is about the team I expected. As you can see, he did not bring the Mienshao, which I am happy with, because that thing could have been a big threat. He also did not bring Tapu Bulu, which kind of sucks, because I kind of over-prepared for it, looking back on it. But, yeah, as my dedicated lead is indeed my Nidoking, so I will lead off with that, as he leads off with his Diancie. So turn one, I decide. I look at his team. I really want this Diancie weakened because it's good. It's good for my Greninja because like Greninja can't OHKO it. Good for my Zygarde in case he's Shuka. And good for my Zard so I can like ensure kill it with Stealing. So, and I'm also thinking he can't OHKO me with like Earth Power or Psychic even if he's offensive. So I figure I can just go for Earthquake and then go for Rocks, so I can get guaranteed damage here on this Diancie. If he pivots like hard into Pidgeot, that's perfectly fine with me because I can just get up my Rocks on the next turn. I don't need my Nidoking to be around late game. So yeah, I'm just gonna go straight for the Earthquake, and that does a ton as he actually reveals Trick Room, which is a very cool tech. Because yeah, now Crawdon is really scary. Crawdon under Trick Room, especially if it has Aerial Ace. So I definitely need to be on the lookout for that. But yeah, here on this next turn, I go for my Rocks, and he gets a crit Explosion. Now this is huge, because one, I know how much I talked about Rocks. Azara's gonna hate me for this, but no Rock sucked a lot. He does have a Tentacruel to spin. But I felt like one thing I knew I had to keep in mind earlier, like this was my game plan. If I got Rock Slip, I could not allow Tentacruel to spin. I would always keep the pressure on it, and even if it did spin, I could capitalize it offensively with Zard / Zygarde, and even if it does manage to spin, I wanted to take damage on the process, so I weaken it for my Greninja, but yeah. He gets the crit. That definitely mattered because after the game he told me he was 144 attack, not a boosting nature, which usually does 85 to 100 to a no HP Nidoking, but I had 72 HP, so I guaranteed lived that explosion. So now what I'm going to do is I'm expecting Crawdon to come in, but as I said, Crawdon could very well have Aerial Ace, so I'm going to go into my Zygarde because I can live any one hit and get a good amount of damage on it. My Zygarde isn't needed this game. But yeah, as I said, I don't want to go into Virizion in case he's like Life Orb, Aerial Ace. And yeah, they'll just suck because my Virizion would get OHKO'd and I'd lose my 1,000 arrows switching. It's not good. So I'm going to go hard into my Zygarde if he does indeed go out into his Crawdon. Now I'm just gonna go straight for the arrows as he goes for the Crab Hammer, and that does a million. That is definitely an Adamant Choice Band Crawdon, which is really unfortunate. Because now I'm forced to sack off my Zygarde. Well, I mean, even if he was like Life Orb, I would have been forced to sack it off anyway. I would actually prefer that he's banned over Life Orb, because then if he was Life Orb, I would have obviously taken less damage, but he wouldn't be locked in. But yeah, here I'm just going to sack off my Zygarde because I don't want to go hard into my Virizion. Even though I know he's banded, I'm going to take like 35%, and that means I'm 2 KO'd by Zydo's 1,000 arrows. So I'm just going to sack off my Zygarde as he actually missed Crab Hammer. So this sucks too. I would have just came in with my Virizion next turn, but that does and lived, and but that doesn't mean it doesn't suck because yeah, even if I did, I would have been forced to go into Virizion and take a ton of damage in the process and lose momentum. So yeah, I feel really bad about that. It sucks just as much as Rocks coming up, but like at least I had counterplay to like if he did hit, at least I had counterplay that. Like Rocks were just so good versus team, but yeah, it still sucks. I'm not gonna deny that. I don't like hacks, but yeah, here he's gonna go into his Tentacruel, and I'm just gonna fire off 1,000 arrows, because he might be, if he's speedy Tentacruel, then I will outspeed him because Trick Room. And yeah, I'm just gonna go straight for the arrows. He has Choco Berry, which I kind of expected, as he goes for the Ice Beam, and after the game, he actually tells me that he was 274 speed as well, predicting the Bulu Creep. Or not predicting the Bulu Creep, but just like for the Bulu Creep. And that was actually a speed tie. So, and I won it, which obviously one of us had to win it, but it kind of sucks because, yeah, now I get that big hit off and this Tentacruel is really weakened. But he, I don't know that he has 274 speed, because that's what my Zygarde had, and I thought, oh, he's just a speedy Tentacruel. That's perfectly fine. Yeah, the thing is, my Charizard also has 274 speed, which means both of us speed tie with this Tentacruel. So I'm gonna go to harden to my Charizard now, thinking I'm probably gonna get out of its bed. Oh well. I'm just gonna go for the Dragon Claw, as he actually outspeeds me and goes for the Haze. So I think he probably thought I would be a faster Zard, which is understandable. But I'm just gonna kill him with Dragon Claw. I don't think that crit mattered because I don't think it's very bulky. But here he goes on to his Zydock, and here I'm just gonna go on to my Verozion. It's my only quote switching. But he actually just goes straight for the Outrage, as yeah, I'm gonna get to a KO, and first sack my Verozion so I can just come in with Forges, because he'll still be rocked in. Unfortunately, he only gets a 2-turn Outrage, so this is another unfortunate thing of hacks. This thing is just really not going Zar's way after the crit explosion. So yeah, now he's just forced to click Outrage because he's locked in, and I will kill him with Moonblast. He would have been able to preserve his Zydock, which I'm guessing he probably would have, because he just clicked arrows and got a kill. But yeah, I just killed him with Moonblast, as now he goes hard into his Mew. Now, I don't know what this Mew set is. I'm thinking it's probably, by the way, brought in, probably Calm Mind, or Nasty Pot, or sorry, it's some sort of setup. So I can't risk my Greninja, and I also don't want my Forges being complete fodder, so I'm gonna go hard into my Charizard. It's the second hardest way I can hit it, as he actually goes straight for the Nasty Pot, and I'm like, oh, this is fine. I can take +2 Psychic, get a big hit off, revenge is my Greninja, it's no big deal, and then my Greninja, and then Greninja plus Pidgeot should be able, Greninja plus Forges should be able to beat Pidgeot, so yeah, it's no big deal. But he actually is Genesis Supernova, which it just completely slipped my mind. So now he OHKOs. There's a Psychic Terrain up. I just completely forgot that that existed. So my Zard is OHKO'd, which sucks a lot. Because now, going to my Greninja. This is a roll in my favor to kill. This is a really close game because I think at this point it all comes down to what its Pidgeot set is. Because if he's that Spit F workup, said I was fearing, then yeah, I could very well lose to it, because I'm pretty sure Uninvested Hurricane still has a chance to kill my Greninja after 2 Life Orb hits. But here I just have Fire off a Dark Pulse, hope I kill, and I do OHKO the Mew, which is great. So now it's Pidgeot versus Greninja and Florges. So I'm just gonna fire off an Ice Beam. It's my hardest way of hitting Pidgeot. As I go for the Ice Beam, does 80%. As he kills me with the Hurricane. Now, this damage reveals that he is an offensive Florges. He is not specially defensive, so I should be able to beat this 1v1, because he can't stall me out. I can just, here I just have to spam Moonblast, because I have more Moonblast than he does, than he has Roosts. And he can try and stall me out, though. The only way I lose at this point is if he gets a lot of crits, or if he gets Confusion hacks. The special attack drops don't really matter. I just need to spam Moonblast. He can't Roost on me forever. I have much more Moonblast than he does Roost, so yeah, I'm just spamming Moonblast. I get a couple of special attack drops, which is unfortunate, but yeah, I've just gotta spam Moonblast. Here he's just going for Moonblast, or I'm just going for Moonblast. He's going for Roost. Here he Roosts again. And this turn I go up for Wish. I'm not sure why. I was just kind of playing weird here. Just kind of on tilt, because this game was so weird. But, yeah, here he goes for the workup. Now I definitely just have to spam Moonblast. I need to keep this thing low. Keep forcing it to Roost, because my Florges can take things, take this on pretty well, even if it's like +1. I just need to keep this low. So yeah, I'm spamming Moonblast, and here I'm pretty sure, no, it's the next turn, I think. I go for the Moonblast, and I think here he just gives up. He goes for the Hurricane, going for Confusion, and I knock out Pidgeot with the Moonblast. So let me talk about this game. This game was just a mess. It was not a good game at all. There was so much RNG that affected the game. first big thing was me not getting my rocks up. I whined about that a lot, I'm not gonna lie. But even though it sucked a lot, he still had a tentacle which could have been able to spin versus my Forges, like if he played well enough. So yeah, it sucked a lot, but then there's also the RNG, such as him getting the 3-turn outrage, him missing the crab hammer, what else was there? The speed tie versus Tentacruel and Zygarde. So yeah, this was not a good game. I know I'm going to trigger Azar when I say sorry, but I just feel really bad about this game. I know I definitely wasn't the greatest for it after this, but yeah, this was not a good game. I don't know how much I can say it, but at least we picked up a 1-0 win to start off the season of the Hive, which is huge, especially against a great player like Azar. He made it really close considering how bad his matchup was. Like in my mocks, I was winning like 3-0, 4-0, but he brought a lot of cool sets that caught me off guard, like the Trick Room Diancie, the Nasty Plot Mew. So yeah, he prepped really well. He played well, but yeah, GG to Azar. I wish him good luck next week. Next week we're going up against Dylan in the Montreal Giga Impacts. I'm going to try and start off strong. And yeah, it's been a while. Been a pretty long video for my standards, but yeah, thanks for watching. See you guys next time.